People call me M and add a Shri to it, Shri M, which means Mr. M. Doesn't mean anything. Now, M is the first letter of the Sanskrit word Manushya, which stands for a human being. Manushya is a human being. So, I like to be away from all differentiations of religion, caste, and creed and stay as a human being. This is who I am. I took this conscious decision when I was 23, and I still stand by this decision. That's who I am. Yes. You know, you don't even have to look at it from a very high spiritual standpoint, although I have some spiritual connection. Even common sense. Okay? All of us, all human beings, man or woman, any part of the world, one, we are born from the womb of a mother. Nobody falls from heaven. One. I'm just saying why we are one. We have the same kind of eyes, the same number of eyes, the same nose, the same ears. We may have a different complexion, but that makes no difference, really. And we breathe the same air, we eat food, and we die. So we are the same. Of course, if you are born in a certain situation, you're given a different name, then you grow up and you think you are identified with that. But really, deep down, you're humans. Suppose I was born in a, let's say, a Hindu family, and when I was a year old, suppose somebody smuggled me out to the house and put me in front of a Christian house door. I would have grown up as Mr. Peter. I wouldn't know, right? So these identities are imposed on us. We grow into it. Really, our true identities, we are all human beings. And if we keep this in mind, then the welfare of humanity becomes part of our welfare. We can't be isolated and say, I will be happy, I don't care what happens to the other. The moment I realize I'm human, and that we are all humans, then it works in a different way. First, we should start living on this earth thinking that we are not privileged and isolated from the underprivileged. This should be reflected in our day-to-day activity. A kind word, a kind smile, helping somebody to stand up when they can't. These are all little practical things that contribute to our understanding this fact that we are one. Spiritually, from my realization and understanding, this entire world and all the living beings here have come from one central spark. I don't call it the Big Bang as the scientists do, but it's come from one spark which has grown and expanded and become the universe. And one day it will all go back into this from where it has come. So essentially, that's our essence, and it's the essence of everybody. So we are one. So the practical step is to love your neighbor as thyself. Bible. Why? Because here was a man who I think was in touch with that which is one. And he said, love thy neighbor as thyself.
But then that assumes you love yourself.
See? You, of course, as a human being, you love yourself. There's no problem out there. You should also love the other. That's all I'm saying. It's a tall order to say, oh, don't love yourself. Love the other. Doesn't work. But as you mature and your spiritual awareness increases, then sometimes the other becomes more important than you. In the beginning, it's not possible. There was a founder of the Rotary, I don't know his name, who said, the Rotary International, which is an organization, he said, service before self. It's possible. Now here, we need to look into education, and from the time children go to school, even before they reach high school, apart from the academics, they should be taught this oneness. That's the only solution. Because once you grow up, it's all set in the brain. It's difficult to change it. Start from there and get people together, children together, and say, look, you're all the same. Hey, Your names may be different, but you are the same. Today's walk, I have walked. I'm known as a man who walks. I've walked in India. I walked 7,500 kilometers. I've walked in Netherlands, in The Hague, in the Hall of Justice. I've walked in Berlin. I've walked in the United States. I walked in many places. In Birmingham last year, and now I'm going to Moscow next year. We're going to have a walk there. So, what happens when you walk is that everybody is with you. There was Lord Stone from the House of Lords. He was also walking with me. I'm not a lord in the House of Lords, but we're all together, right? So, when you say in English, down to earth, it actually means put your feet down. And then you're the same as everybody else. And then you walk to different places of religion to show that we have nothing against anybody. You have your religion, but don't forget that you're a human being. This was the whole symbol of the walk. And all of us look for peace. Nothing can develop in this world without peace. We know, you don't know, even I don't know. I was born after the Second World War, but when people who were there, they know the difficulties and the problems that come. Now does it come? When one human being says, well, I'm different from the rest, we are different. That's the genesis of the whole discord and violence in this world. So this walk is a symbol, of course. In one day you don't do anything. At least you plant the seeds. Planting the seeds is very important. One day they will grow. Before you know it will have large trees under whose shades you can sit and say, we're all at peace.
Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I think young people like you should think about what I said and try to inculcate these habits in our day-to-day existence so that when one does, the other learns and it spreads. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.